the lights go out. Complete darkness. And when they flicker back on, the entire WWE universe is about to witness something that will shake the foundations of Monday Night Raw to its absolute core. What you're about to see is not just a return. This is not just another storyline twist. This is the moment where chaos walks back through the door, where madness rejoins the game, and where Roman Reigns' world is about to be turned completely upside down. Before we dive into this absolute bombshell, I need you to do something for me. If you love wrestling, if you live for these jaw-dropping moments that make your heart race and your hands shake, hit that subscribe button right now. Become part of the SLAMZONE family because we're about to break down something truly special together. And trust me when I say this, you're going to want to be here for every single second of what's coming next. The arena is electric. You can feel it through the screen. 20,000 fans are on their feet, and the tension in that building is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Bronn Breaker stands in the center of the ring, microphone in hand, and the Intercontinental Championship gleaming over his shoulder like a badge of pure dominance. This man has been a wrecking ball on Raw. He's been unstoppable. He's been untouchable. And tonight, he's promised something that nobody saw coming. He said he had a vision. He said he was building something bigger than himself. He said he found someone who shares his hunger, his rage, his absolute refusal to back down from anyone. The crowd is buzzing with speculation. Who could it be? What superstar would align themselves with this freight train of a human being? Bronn paces the ring like a caged animal, and you can see it in his eyes. This isn't just confidence. This is certainty. He knows something we don't. He's holding all the cards, and he's about to lay them on the table in the most explosive way possible. Then Roman Reigns' music hits. The tribal chief makes his entrance, and the entire atmosphere shifts. This is the man who has dominated WWE for years. This is the head of the table. This is the undisputed Universal Champion who has bent every single superstar to his will. But there's something different in his expression tonight. There's a flicker of something we rarely see in Roman's eyes. Concern, maybe even fear. Because Roman knows what Bronn is capable of. He's seen the carnage. He's watched this young lion tear through the competition like they were nothing. And now, with this mystery partner in the wings, even the tribal chief has to wonder if his throne is under threat. Roman steps into the ring, and the two men stand face to face. The silence is deafening. These are two alpha predators, two men who refuse to bow to anyone, standing inches apart with the entire wrestling world watching. Bronn smirks. That cocky, dangerous smirk that tells you he knows exactly what's about to happen. He raises the microphone to his lips and says the words that send shockwaves through the crowd. Roman, you've ruled this place with an iron fist. You've crushed everyone who dared to challenge you. But tonight, your era ends. Tonight, I introduce you to the man who's going to help me tear down everything you've built. The crowd erupts. Some are cheering. Some are in complete disbelief. Roman's jaw clenches. His fists tighten. He's staring at Bronn like he wants to rip him apart right there in the middle of the ring. But Bronn doesn't flinch. He doesn't even blink. He just points to the entrance ramp and says two words. He's here. The lights cut out again. Total blackness. The crowd is going absolutely insane. Cell phones light up the arena like stars in the night sky. Everyone is trying to figure out who it is. The anticipation is unbearable. And then, the music hits. That guitar riff. That unmistakable, chaotic, rebellious guitar riff that can only mean one thing. Dean Ambrose is back. The roof nearly comes off the building. Fans are screaming. Some are crying. Others are standing in complete shock with their hands on their heads because they cannot believe what they're seeing. The lunatic fringe, the man who walked away from WWE, the man who said he was done, the man who burned every bridge on his way out, is walking back down that ramp with fire in his eyes and destruction on his mind. And he's not alone anymore. He's aligned with Bronn Breaker. Dean storms down to the ring wearing his signature leather jacket, ripped jeans, and that wild, untamed look that made him one of the most unpredictable forces in WWE history. His hair is longer. His beard is more rugged. But those eyes are exactly the same. They're filled with that unhinged intensity that made him a world champion. They're filled with that chaos that made the Shield the most dominant faction of all time. And right now, those eyes are locked directly on Roman Reigns. Roman can't believe it. You can see it on his face. This is his former brother. This is the man he once stood side by side with. This is the man who helped him conquer WWE. And now, Dean Ambrose is standing across from him as an enemy. The emotional weight of this moment is crushing. These two men shared blood, sweat, and tears together. They built an empire together. And now, they're on opposite sides of a war that's about to explode. Dean slides into the ring, and immediately, he and Bronn stand shoulder to shoulder. Two of the most dangerous men in professional wrestling, united with one common goal: destroy Roman Reigns. The tribal chief looks at both of them, calculating his next move. He's outnumbered. He knows it. But Roman doesn't run. He never runs. He steps forward, getting right in Dean's face, and you can feel the history between these two men crackling like electricity. Before anyone can throw a punch, Raw General Manager Adam Pearce rushes down to ringside with security. He's trying to restore order. He's trying to prevent this from turning into an all-out brawl that tears the entire show apart. But you can see in his eyes that he knows he's standing between three hurricanes. Pearce grabs a microphone and makes an announcement that sends the crowd into another frenzy. Since you three clearly have unfinished business, next week on Raw, it's going to be Bronn Breaker and Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns in a handicap match. Unless Roman can find a partner willing to step into this war, the crowd explodes. This is it. This is the match that's going to define the next chapter of Monday Night Raw. Roman nods slowly, accepting the challenge, but you can see the wheels turning in his head. Who would be crazy enough to stand with him against this alliance of chaos? Who would be willing to step into the ring with two men who have nothing to lose and everything to prove? Dean leans over the ropes, pointing at Roman, and shouts something that the cameras barely pick up, but the fans at ringside hear loud and clear. "You took everything from me, Roman. Now I'm taking it all back." The emotion in his voice is raw. This isn't just about championships or main event spots. This is personal. This is about betrayal. This is about years of resentment that have been building up like a pressure cooker ready to explode. And now, with Bronn Breaker by his side, Dean Ambrose has the firepower to finally get his revenge. The segment ends with all three men staring each other down, security struggling to keep them separated, and the crowd chanting so loud that it feels like the building might collapse. This is what wrestling is all about. This is the kind of moment that reminds you why you fell in love with this sport in the first place. The drama, the intensity, the unpredictability, the feeling that anything can happen at any moment. Now, if you're as hyped as I am right now, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Subscribe to SLAMZONE if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of these incredible breakdowns. Because we're just getting started, and trust me, what's coming next is going to blow your mind. Let's talk about what this means for the landscape of WWE. Dean Ambrose returning is massive on its own. But Dean Ambrose returning and immediately aligning with Bronn Breaker? That's a game changer. Bronn has been on an absolute tear since he arrived on the main roster. He's a second-generation superstar with his father's intensity and his uncle's charisma. He's got the look. He's got the athleticism. He's got that rare combination of power and speed that makes him nearly impossible to stop. And now, he's got Dean Ambrose watching his back. Think about what this partnership brings to the table. Bronn is the muscle. He's the raw, explosive force that can hit you like a freight train. Dean is the strategist. He's the mind games. He's the unpredictable element that keeps everyone guessing. Together, they're a nightmare scenario for anyone who stands in their way. And their first target is the biggest target in all of WWE, Roman Reigns. Roman has been at the top of the mountain for so long that people started to think he was invincible. He defeated John Cena. He beat Brock Lesnar. He outlasted Edge. He conquered The Undertaker's legacy. He's done it all. But every empire falls eventually. Every king loses his crown. And right now, standing across from him are two men who represent his past and his future colliding in the most dangerous way possible. Dean Ambrose knows Roman better than anyone. He knows his weaknesses. He knows his patterns. He knows exactly how to get inside his head and tear him apart from the inside out. And Bronn Breaker has the physical tools to finish the job. This isn't just a match. This is an execution. This is a calculated assault designed to dethrone the tribal chief and shatter his legacy. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Who does Roman call? Who does he trust enough to stand by his side in a fight this brutal? His family has crumbled around him. The bloodline has fractured. GUSO betrayed him. Jimmy USO is dealing with his own battles. Solo Sikoa has gone rogue. Paul Heyman might have his own agenda. Roman is more isolated than he's ever been, and his enemies know it. They're circling like sharks smelling blood in the water. Could Roman turn to an old ally? Could he reunite with someone from his past? Or does he go in a completely different direction and shock the world with an unexpected partnership? The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this storyline so compelling. Every direction they could take this has massive implications. Imagine if Roman calls on Cody Rhodes. The American Nightmare finished his story by beating Roman at WrestleMania, but now they have a common enemy. Could they put their rivalry aside for one night? The crowd would go absolutely nuclear. Or what if Roman reaches out to Seth Rollins? The Architect and the Tribal Chief reuniting would complete a Shield reunion storyline in the most twisted way imaginable, with Dean on the other side trying to destroy them both. Or maybe Roman goes international. Maybe he calls on Gunther, the ring general, and we get an alliance between the two most dominant forces in WWE. That would be absolutely insane. The strategic brilliance of Gunther combined with the raw dominance of Roman Reigns? That's a team that could conquer the entire roster. The speculation alone is driving the WWE universe crazy, and that's exactly what great storytelling does. It makes you invested. It makes you care about what happens next. It makes you count down the hours until Raw comes back on the air because you need to know how this unfolds. As we get closer to the climax of this incredible saga, I want to take a moment to remind you one more time. If you're loving this breakdown, if you're as passionate about wrestling as I am, subscribe to SLAMZONE. Join the family. We're building something special here, a community of fans who appreciate the art of professional wrestling and the stories that make it the greatest form of entertainment on the planet. Hit that like button, drop a comment telling me who you think Roman should partner with, and share this video with your friends who need to catch up on what's happening. Now, let's talk about what happens when these four superstars finally collide in that ring. The match is going to be absolute chaos. Dean Ambrose doesn't wrestle by the rules. He never has. He's going to bring weapons. He's going to bring mind games. He's going to push every boundary and cross every line to make Roman suffer. and Bronn Breaker is going to bring the most devastating offense we've seen in years. His spear alone has ended careers. His power moves make the ring shake. Together, they're going to put Roman and whoever stands with him through absolute hell. But never count out the tribal chief. Roman has survived everything WWE has thrown at him. He's a master tactician. He's proven time and time again that he can overcome impossible odds. And when his back is against the wall, when everything is on the line, Roman Reigns finds a way to win. That's what makes him the tribal chief. That's what makes him the head of the table. This match is going to be violent. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be the kind of battle that people talk about for years. Near falls that make you jump out of your seat. Devastating moves that make you wonder how anyone is walking out of that ring. Shocking moments that you never saw coming. This is WWE at its absolute best. And when the dust settles, when the final bell rings, the landscape of Monday Night Raw will never be the same. Someone's winning. Someone's losing. But everyone involved is going to be forever changed by what happens in that ring. Careers will be defined. Legacies will be cemented. And the WWE Universe will witness a moment that becomes part of wrestling history. So here's my final message to you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for sharing your passion for wrestling with me and everyone else in the SLAMZONE family. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure those notifications are on, because next week, we're breaking down that match the moment it happens, and you're not going to want to miss a single second. This is SLAMZONE, where we live and breathe professional wrestling, where we celebrate the moments that make us stand up and scream at our screens, where we analyze every detail, every nuance, every story that makes this business the most incredible thing in the world. The Lunatic Fringe is back. Bronn Breaker has a partner in chaos. Roman Reigns is facing his past and his future at the same time, and we're all here for it. This is where legends are made. This is where history happens. And you just witnessed the beginning of something truly unforgettable.